Man, oh man, I miss Japan so bad. I need to go back. The arcades over there are freaking amazing, you know? So here I am at the japantimes.com. Japanese news site says Japanese gaming arcades are on their last life. They're fading. Japanese arcades are they're on life support. They're on life support. And if you look at this image here, this here, the Sega building in Akihabara, I've been there. I've actually been there. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've went inside the building and it is absolutely amazing. I really hope that, you know, arcades stay open in Japan, as many as possible, because, man, it is so sad. And Japan is basically the gaming capital of the world. So anyways, let's get into it, guys. Hello guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that little bell right there so that you can get notifications every time I upload a video. Okay? Enjoy. What is up guys, this is your boy Andy Matrix. Welcome to Andy Arts TV, where I talk about anime, movies, geek culture, video games, and Japanese culture. And for today's dose of Japanese culture, we're going to be talking about arcades in Japan once again. Okay, if you're a gamer, and heck, if you're into anime, you're gonna want to go to Japan as an anime lover and gamer, because you know that's where it's at. I mean, you have Akihabara, which is basically a town dedicated to these things, to gaming and anime. One location. This is where it's all at, guys. I mean, it is absolutely amazing here. You guys need to go check it out. If you haven't gone to Japan, to Akihabara, go check it out. I have some videos on my channel, so go to the playlist and check out my visits to Japan. I recommend it. Now on to the article here. So basically they're saying that arcades are fading in Japan. I mean, it was really, you know, the disappearance of arcades was put on steroids, you know, after the pandemic on 2020. We all know that already, right? So it says here, the writer of this article says in 1986, right here, 1986, there were 26,573 arcades all over Japan. All over Japan. They have over 26,000 arcades, right? That's in the 80s. In 2019, right, 2 years ago, there were 4,000 arcades, right? And then it says, things have changed ever since the 2000s when I published this book. So basically, the author of this article wrote a book called Arcade Maniac. He says back then there were over 9,000 arcades in the 2000s, significantly less than their mid-1980s peak, but double that for today. Wow, so in the 80s they had 26,000. Now they only have 4,000 arcades. I mean, again, Japan, they brought us Nintendo, they brought us PlayStation. They brought us all kinds of gaming innovation. Okay, and Nintendo is an old company, guys. It's a really old company. So the Japanese, they kind of, you know, they have gaming in their blood. I don't mean to be stereotypical. I love my Japanese people, but they have gaming in their blood, guys. Okay, now I'm not gonna read this whole thing. I'm just gonna skip to the really important parts about the arcades. So here where it says there appears to be little help or interest from the Japanese governments in boosting arcades during the pandemic, right? With each arcade closure, a part of the country's gaming history and culture is lost. That is true. Gaming is a huge part of Japanese culture. So the reason why Americans got into, you know, gaming is because of Japan. The reason why Microsoft invented the Xbox is to compete with the PlayStation and Nintendo. Okay, gaming runs in Japanese blood, guys. So it says the government is doing nothing to help us out of his hopeless situation. Yasushi Fukamachi, manager at Tokyo Arcade Mikado, told Agents France Press earlier this year, the income has gone down by more than half. This is horrible. So tourism is a huge part of how how Japan makes its money, especially in Tokyo, down in Kyoto. Tourism is huge, right? And that's how they bring, you know, billions of dollars by having foreigners come in and enjoy the Japanese culture, the gaming, Akihabara, the arcades. It is absolutely, you know, incredible. So the government's doing absolutely nothing to bring, you know, to help bring back the arcades, to sustain the arcades, because if all arcades close, you know, they're going to lose a lot of revenue opportunity. That, you know, that's just the nature of it. They rely heavily on tourism, so they want the Japanese government to, you know, to start opening the country up for tourism, so that, you know, these businesses can generate money. You know, it helps. It really helps. And there are parts here in America, like in New York, there's a lot of tourism in New York from all over the world, and it also helps the New York economy, believe it or not, of course. Now it says Mikado, owner of Minoru, not sure what that is, but it says, but don't count out Japanese arcades just yet. In other words, let's not give up on Japanese arcades. It says game companies are showing slight signs of optimism, although amusement centers operations, which has slumped due to the impact of COVID-19, have entered a recovery trend. It is expected to take some time for the recovery of purchasing motivation of customers. Wrote Segasami in its most recent financial statement. The gaming giant sold an 85% stake in Sega Entertainment, a subsidiary that operates amusement facilities to Genda, right? In December 2020, that was last year during the pandemic. Likewise, Square Enix stated that its amusement centers have been on rebound, particularly in the suburbs and shopping malls. Okay, it says this may be the greatest challenge Japanese arcades have ever faced, but it isn't quite game over. I like how they ended that sentence. So yes, for all of you Japanese tourists over there, for, you know, all foreigners from America, Canada, Europe, we all like to go to Japan and experience these and go to, you know, enjoy these arcades. So by next year, by 2022, when you go back, when people start going back in the masses, excuse me, it could be, we could see a huge difference in the you know, in Tokyo with the disappearance of arcades, because again, it's a huge part of Japanese history, Japanese culture. Yes, gaming is part of Japanese culture. They have a huge history of it, and things could change, and honestly, it's not going to be for the better. What is up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can receive new future notifications. Check out the blog at andyarttv.com. Follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts or anything you want to say right below this video in the comments below. This is Andy Matrix. Thank you for watching. Godspeed, everybody. Godspeed.